and welcome. I am the Last Hit Point Hero, and you have found your way to Neon Lights Roleplay. We are so very glad you're here and hope you enjoy your stay. Over the course of the next several weeks, we are going to continue our adventure in the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Tonight, we return to our playthrough of the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure module, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Frozen within my cavern walls are the souls of those who defied me. Now they are mine. First and foremost, no attempts to make the story child appropriate have occurred. This is a tale of cold isolation, alien incursion, and self-centered divinities. This actual play stream contains adult language, some violence, scary images, light gore, and generally speaking, a great deal of cold. Our players are here to warm the night. Safety tools are in place for the players, but you as a viewer do not have such a luxury. If anything makes you uncomfortable, is unpleasant, or otherwise you just want a break, feel free to step away. We will be here upon your return. Otherwise, kick back, relax, keep all heads, hands, paws, and claws inside the stream at all times. Slap that follow button to join the wonderful world of Neon Lights Roleplay. Click the magical link that will spontaneously appear in Twitch at any moment to our wonderful Discord community. And above all else, be good. That's the rule. Be good. As for our players, they will introduce themselves, say hello, and answer a question for the evening, which for tonight is: what treasures do your characters imagine would be in these caverns? Now, this is a frozen cavern belonging to the Frostmaiden. She tends to collect things. There are broken towers of an ancient, magic-oriented society. There's a lot of potential. What are they thinking they may find? Well, we will have to see what you think and then what you find on the other end. But before then, let us go around and say hello, starting with definitely a person who does people things. It's Heck.
I mean, I guess you're not wrong. Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot, and as per usual tonight, I am playing Astoria, the ASMR lore bard. She uses she, her pronouns, and I use she, they pronouns. What she thinks is in this cavern, probably, she knows that the Frostmaiden likes things that are, very old, very arcane, but almost always have some type of creepy twist to them. So it's oh yeah, a book of all these cool spells and stuff, but it's made of people skin or something like that, it's always something weird. So probably something along those lines, of just, yeah, good loot, I guess, mechanically, but do you want to use them? Probably not.
Why save just the spells the spellcaster knew when you could save the spellcaster too? Continuing down and around. Certainly not an alien wearing a people-shaped coat. It's Al.
Greetings. My name's Al. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Mirth, our dragonborn bard, whose pronouns are he, him. And in this dank cave we are exploring, this huge glacial cavern, Mirth thinks that we might find more magical artifacts of the mages of the fallen city down here. We're going to find some more suspicious mage tech, is what he thinks.
Who knows what it will do this time? We already made a fake Mirth. Maybe there's time for a fake Braum.
Fake Braum.
Fake Braum. We shall have to see. Continuing down and around, waiting until he's chewed so that he doesn't have a mouthful at the moment. All right, perfect. Unquestionably Homo sapien. It's T.
Hello, I'm T, and my pronouns are he, they, and I was just chewing some dried apple, which meant it took 3 times longer to chew. And I played Braum, the human paladin, or vengeance. And, you know, the Frostmaiden has really not let him down with her cruelty, malice, general unwelcomingness, inability to reward her followers. So he's really expecting more like gross frozen undead down here, like possibly like more people like plastered inside the caves, maybe a few more vampires, and then some like really horrible treasures that he's not going to want to touch.
You know, if I offer magic items and you all reject them, that's up to you.
True.
And continuing down and around, obviously from planet Earth, it's Janie Potts.
From planet Earth. Okay, yeah, totally from planet whatever you call it. And I totally know my name and my name. I'm not an alien.
You did not replace Janie.
No, I did not, and that's who. But my name is. It's that name, Janie. My character is. Let's look at Janie's notes. I mean, my notes. May, who thinks that there is lots and lots of monsters and no treasure. Probably more grave skulls just to torture me.
We'll have to see what exactly is uncovered. And having been briefly called back to his home planet for a moment, Squiggles is out. So we will settle in to the plan for this evening. So last time, the group found Olani. Hush's sister spoke with her in length about what they were to look for. They were directed to find a bowl or a helmet. It's kind of that shape of a, I can't remember what it's called now because it's in last week's notes instead of this week's notes, but there is a term for a helmet that looks almost exactly like a bowl. It's all right. It's not that important. Looking Everyone sing the hold music. Da, 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 da. Oh, hi, we're back. So Olani is studying, trying to see what it is she needs to do once you return with the thing that she would like you to get. The rest of you went exploring. You found a giant head that you asked yes or no questions to, all of which were helpful and relevant to your adventure.
Oh, that was. Don't remind me. I forgot.
That was so sad.
I just want to say, the idea that its battery it's almost drained. You probably have one question left. Yes or no questions only. Do you know where your body is? No.
And then he fucking died.
And then he died.
They was just. I don't know if she's over it yet.
Yeah, it's permanent damage. This is the cavern of emotional damage. And then we ended the session with all of you finding your way into a much more open room. And we didn't describe it in too much detail. So when we do get started, I'll re-describe the room to bring us all back in. It's been a couple weeks where you ran into a wraith who spoke to you in Loris, and then with a little bit of an exchange in Elven, then spoke in at least an appreciable Elven that you could understand, and said mean things, including he's upset that you're there and probably going to just go ahead and kill you, and attacked you ominously. So we do attacked you ominously, attacked you vigorously, came diving in, roaring with his spirit roars. So we know that this is not a positive way out of this. So that is where we'll start. Here in just a moment. But before then, we will pan back just a moment. A single figure, robed in this tattered, almost ice-rimed cloak, stands, chisel in hand, hammer in the other, carving into a wall. With each blow of the hammer, pieces of ice fly. The words beneath, seeming to be in common in one moment, but the longer you look at them, the more they shift to, well, to every language that you know. It's an odd effect. One of movement, one of intrigue. And the words seem to come together almost, not a rhyme, but a poem of sorts. Swirling shadows, both within reach and unreachable, both indescribable yet distinct, both ominous and benign, layered by ice, poured forth from the divine hand, locking away so little that means so much. As the figure finishes carving, they brush away the excess chips of ice. They disrobe and walk into a cavern and disappear into the rhyme. As for us, you are all standing in a fairly large room. Off to one side was this shadowy figure that we've identified as a wraith. And as you take a moment to assess and look around, both Hush and Brahm rush to the forefront. Hush summoning psychic blades ready to go, Brahm hefting his great sword. You look around and you see that the floor of this icy cavern is riddled in cracks. Some a half-inch wide, some a full inch, some 3 or 4 inches, none massive, but cracked across, almost as though something fell and shattered a mirror. The walls are the same, cracks running throughout them. And as you glance away from the wraith for just a moment, you catch movement beneath the surface of the ice. Swirls of shadow. Darkness churning. And that is where we begin. If everyone would roll initiative for me. Don't forget to click your token first so that it populates the wonderful turn order tracker.
You know, if I don't roll
You can
initiative,
like move
that,
and stuff.
sorry.
If you don't roll initiative, you're still in the fight. I'm sorry, Janie.
Sorry.
There's not too much I can do about it right now, unless all of chat wants to see my character sheet.
Oh, what? I'm confused.
Because what my Roll20 window is what chat is seeing.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
I try to use Beyond 20 with D&D Beyond, it's just all of chat seeing my character sheet.
No.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
so it's like I can just tell you it's a 12. that's the best I can do right now.
No, that will work just
Thanks
fine.
to internet.
I got a
All-
9.
A 9 and a 12. Let us just give you a number. Oh, I didn't open it correctly. There is that. Turn you into a 9. Wait, turn you into a 12. Wait, who had the 9? Who had the 12?
I had the 12.
Didn't. Okay, Astoria had the 12. May had the 9. My apologies. Hit the button. Move that. May. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's on me to do Hush. Hit that. Go to that. And we are. Roll. 14. Perfect. Descending order. Hit the magic music button. And we're ready to begin with Mirth. Mirth, if you unmute, we'll know what you're doing.
It was just me cussing, realizing I was first. So we see like shapes under the ice, right? Is that kind of what we're noticing?
So
Okay.
what you see at the glance, because of the conversation and the threat, you see moving darkness below a cracked ice floor. It's along the walls too, cracked walls, shadows moving.
Okay. Mirth says, "Whoop! Here comes trouble," and I want to go ahead and see. Mirth can't see beyond the bubble of brightness that we have with the torch. I think he's still holding.
Right.
So I think he is going to. How would you say if he sent out some dancing lights in a direction where the shadows are to see if we can get a little more illumination?
Sounds great. You can dancing lights away.
All right. Mirth casts just cantrip away. We'll send some fireflies out. I think this direction, or kind of like the southern area. Is this right?
Yep. I think the dancing lights have to be within 10 feet of each other, if I recall. Could be wrong.
Within 10 feet? Okay. In that case,
I'm going by memory, so I might be wrong there.
can I attach the dancing lights to the tip of a crossbow and shoot it over there? Can I be Tears of the Kingdom?
So you can. All must be within 20 feet of another light. There we go. So they can go up to 60 feet, and they must be 20 feet away from another light. So you can just place them. That's fine.
Okay, I want to put some lights over here-ish.
Okay. I will start giving
down
you some
south.
lights.
And thank you, yeah. Wherever you think light would be, Mirth is just going to try and give us the gift of sight. And also, if it's okay, I want to perceive where the enemy is, since they're not really in our sight. So, want me to roll for that?
So perceiving the wraith or trying to figure out what the shadows are?
Trying to figure out what the shadows are. Don't
Okay,
love
go
it.
ahead and give me a perception or a religion.
Okay. Well, it ain't religion because I skipped church, but I got I got a 21 for perception. Non-religious perception.
Non-religious perception.
Secular perception.
Secular perception. What you see underneath the floor are kind of humanish shapes. It's hard to get a good look at them, but yeah, there seems to be something dark, misty, and human-like. Multiples. With that roll, you'd say there's probably a half dozen or so.
There's probably a half dozen or so, Mirth says, under the ice here. They seem to be moving. Something tells me these aren't the same as that larder we found earlier. And then, since I did two things that definitely took longer than 6 seconds.
I always do skill checks like that as bonus actions. So that is your action for dancing lights, bonus action as that skill check, and that's your turn unless you want to move more.
Nope. Seems about
Okay.
right.
Brahm.
Can Brahm sense evil to try and figure out where they are, or are they just like wiggling around like fish?
As Mirth points them out, they're kind of wiggling around everywhere. And when you look, there's definitely more than a half dozen, but a half dozen seem dangerous. I think that's the clarifying remark I'll make on my end. Yeah. There's lots of shadows, but only a half dozen seem, let's say, interested.
Sure.
Only
Okay.
a half dozen piranhas seem angry.
Brahm's gonna do a thing. He's gonna go ahead and you know what? I think this weapon already now it's a normal weapon.
Uh-oh. Want to borrow my null ray?
I think. I think if he uses baby smite, he'll probably be fine. Though. What? Like
Baby smite, do 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 do.
you know, just level 1 smite.
Okay.
But I think he'll have to do that later. Let me see what I want to do now. Oh, okay. Let's try this. No, I can't do that either. Never mind. Looking.
This is a ponderous fight. It's
It
fine,
is.
guys. We're just easing into this moment.
Mm-hmm.
No need to rush to our doom. It's when we can saunter.
He's gonna make a vow of enmity against their best friend Wraithman.
Got it.
So there you go.
So he is not within 10 feet of you.
Oh, he is not.
Unless you want to get closer, he is not within 10 feet of you.
Oh, he's over here, I think. Yeah, sure.
All right. Brahm runs toward the wraith.
Sure is. And he's gonna tell him he's gonna send him to the shadow.
Okay,
Sounds
Yugi
good.
boy.
Bonus
Shadow
action that.
hell.
Running up, you are you find, okay, since you're the first one to kind of move across the cracks, you find it's difficult to get your footing. It is difficult terrain through this, so it's a little tough as you get in. In fact, I will mark it on the map to make it clearer.
Okay.
All around here. Oh, blue was a terrible choice. Sorry about that color
no.
choice, everyone. It looks like nothing.
If I
There we
just
go.
squint a little bit, I think I can
If you
tell.
squint, you might be able to see.
There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, everything past the red line is difficult terrain. So Brahm, you run all the way up there, do your vow of enmity, and make a threat. And then it's Hush's turn.
Okie doke.
Hush will take a step forward up, look at the cracks, look down at them, and be a little nervous about it for a second. Think about it, then he'll just summon a blade and throw it at the wraith across the way.
Good job,
he
Hush.
has special blades, so don't have to worry about that. 19 is going to hit for 7 damage. Yep, it does do the full 7. That's good. And then sneak attack damage is absurd.
He did a nutso damage one of these past games to the point where I was like, did you typo with your mouth those words? Like that was really cool.
So you don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target's within 5 feet, which is Brahm in that thing's face as Brahm ran up to it. Oh wait, Brahm, did you stop next to it or 10 feet away from it? It's an important distinction right now.
He is 5 feet, I think. I can't really see from where.
All right, well, I will stick you right next to it then. There you go.
Yep.
Good. So that does 21 additional damage. That's 28. The psychic blade gets thrown, and the wraith doesn't even pay attention to it. It's used to something like this doing nothing to it. But when the blade hits, it sticks solidly in this creature's body, and it just hisses with frustration as it takes a significant chunk of damage. Hush is thrilled that works and chucks another one. Got to love the extras. Bonus attack. Roll it. 25 will also hit. This does 8 psychic damage that sinks in deep, and this wraith is hissing right in your face, Brahm. You seem to be taking the blame right now.
Oh no.
Astoria, it's your turn.
Yeah, hi. Hello. We're gonna We're gonna move first. We're gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're going right there.
Yep.
I'm not gonna measure real fast. Sorry, chat. I feel so bad that you have to see everything that I'm doing. But my internet
It's fun
has
behind the
decided.
scenes.
My internet has decided that 2 instances of Roll20 is just not for today. Okay. So, what I am going to do with that range. Yeah, this is the best thing I'm going to be able to do at this point. I am going to go ahead and try to cast Dissonant Whispers on it. I need a wisdom save.
Sure. A wisdom save from the Wraith will get us a 15.
That fails. Okay, it's going to take full damage. Oh, and that's not going to send over either. It's 11.
11 from Dissonant Whispers. Then, now, when it says it flees, what does it say about creatures immune to charm effects?
Let's see. I don't think it says anything about charm. It says deafened creatures automatically succeed, but that's
All right, that's it.
about
Deafened
it.
creatures. I just wanted to make sure. So you send the Dissonant Whispers over, and this Wraith, its head starts snapping back and forth. How much damage was it again?
11.
11. It puts both claws up to the side of its head, and it darts through this back wall.
Oh, dang it.
Brom, because of
didn't think
Dissonant
it would do
Whispers, you
that.
do get an opportunity attack.
Get it, Brom, get it.
He's gonna try the big smack, and now he has advantage.
Yes.
Go ahead. An 11. Oh, he has advantage. A 15 will hit. And if I recall, you just have a normal sword, don't you?
Sadly, yes, and I can't add any smite attacks to it, can I?
Nope, you cannot. It's not your turn. You swing your blade cleanly, and it passes completely through the body of this wraith that seems undisturbed as it shoots through the wall.
What happened to your other sword?
I don't think I got an enchanted sword.
Oh, we've got to fix that.
Yeah, I don't have any enchanted weapons. None. I looked and I was like, nope. It's literally only enchanted if I can cast magic on it.
Ah. Well.
Astoria, anything else on your turn?
We're just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Brom, you find yourself staring at this wall that this wraith passed through, and after a moment, its face shoots out of the wall, jaw distended, teeth. You see the spectral flesh falling off of it as one of its hands reaches out to try and grab your face.
What a jerk.
So that is a 21 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Then
Oh, wow.
you need to take 16 necrotic damage,
Oh my god.
Oh.
and I would like you to make a Constitution save.
Okay.
Uh, 14. As this wraith's claw reaches out and grabs your face, you can feel its fingers pass into your body, and you being religiously trained, you're aware of the spiritual core of your body, the movement within, the lines between mind and soul, and you can feel that hand grip that connection between your mind and your soul and start tugging, but you rip away and are perfectly fine except for this cold, ominous sense left behind. And it
Well, Oh, good.
And then it passes back through the wall.
What a jerk.
Oh, I hate it.
Me too.
Sorry. The fact it went back in the wall like a little shit. That's really mean.
You were gonna say, Brom said?
I was just, he's praying. He'd be muttering prayers to himself, and now he angrily stares at the wall.
Okay. All the rest of you who are not on the cracked part of the floor look down, and you can see these 6 particular shadows that Mirth pointed out are spinning in circles and rush, all 6 of them, toward Brom, who is standing on the cracks. And as you're watching, through the cracks of the ice, these sinuous, shadowy tentacles reach up and start pushing through cracks in Brom's armor, next to his knee joint, next to his feet, just trying to find a way in. And we're gonna see if any of them do.
Uh-oh.
That is all 6 of them. So oh geez, another 21.
Could I cutting words that? And
You
scold
may.
them for being mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I will scold them and let's see if anything happens. God, poor Brom. Let me see, what do I got here?
And I'm gonna switch to a thing that you can see me rolling because I hate not having my rolls.
Okay, that's -6 to whatever.
-6
Well, to hit or whatever.
to hit. So
Yeah,
if it's
just to
6
hit.
to
It's
hit,
what cutting words can do, which is just attack rolls or saving throws, like kind of the basic, the flip side of Bardic.
perfect. So that is a 15 to hit, which misses. So Brom, you can feel one of these tentacles start shoving through a crack in your armor, and just as this icy cold sense washes over you, you hear Mirth call out from the distance, and it jerks away as if someone has reprimanded it.
And Mirth goes, ah. That's what Mirth says.
Like a cat.
Well, like you would at a cat that's
Drop
vomiting in
it.
the corner at night.
Drop
Like,
It's still quit whispering rolls. Never whisper rolls. In case anyone knows, I DM without a DM screen. I like showing everything. It's more fun for me that way. A 10 to hit from the second tentacle will miss. An 18, does that hit? 18 doesn't find its way in. A 12 doesn't find its way in. A 16 doesn't find its way in. And an 8 doesn't find its way in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 are trying to push their way through Brom's armor, and none of them find a chink in his armor, except for the
hell
one.
yeah!
Except for the one that Mirth reprimanded.
It got in?
It would have if you hadn't reprimanded it.
Oh, it worked. Okay, great. That's good
Mhm.
news. Good job, Brom. This is why you check your armor every night and everything's all polished and up to code, and it came in handy.
Yeah, sure did.
Really did.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is all of them, and we are over to May.
So I don't see the wraith because he went through the wall,
Yes.
and I just see the tentacle things.
So all of those retreated back into the floor. So when you look at the floor, there are shadows almost rolling over each other. There are 6 of them that are closer to the surface, but there's a lot in there. So yes, you can see them. They are under the ice.
Okay. This is a little difficult. Sorry, it's a little just trying to figure out what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're all hiding. I guess they're scared of us. I don't blame them. You know, we're a pretty scary group, so they would be afraid of us. Yes, what am I going to do? I can't exactly cloud of daggers them through the ice.
Running is also theoretically an option. Maybe. I mean, not without Brom.
I mean,
Yeah, and there's that difficult terrain that's
yeah.
Oh, and the difficult terrain. That'll. We need to drag it into the light.
Yeah.
That was Mirth, by the way, not Al.
Yeah. You could always start running. He could follow. If you guys wanted to do that, that's an option.
But can I attack them through the ice with a spell?
No one has tried, is the way that I will answer that.
Okay. I will try to kind of go around the little bin thingy.
Okay. To about
It's closer
to
to
this
the light.
bend, or closer to the light. Okay. Down here.
And then I want to try to do, I don't know how this is going to work, but I want to try to do Cloud of Daggers through the ice.
Cloud of the I think you have to pick a place you can see. If I remember, Cloud of Daggers targeting a point you choose within range.
Where the shadows that's under the ice.
Now, what do we do about that? Centered at a point you choose within range. I'm going to say you're not, if you cast this spell, it will remain above the surface level of the ice.
All right. So I will not cast the spell.
No problem.
What I will do is just stomp on the ice to see if I can get their attention.
Okay, so that will require a dash for you to get all the way to the ice. Are you fine with that?
Yes.
All right, so we will dash you over to the ice. Here next to Mirth, is that fine with you?
Yes.
All right, and then you stomp on the ice to get attention. And very clearly, the six that were circling Brahm are now splitting. They're kind of bouncing between the two of you. Mirth, it's your turn. Unless, do you have a bonus action of any kind you'd like to use, May?
Bardic inspiration for Brahm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Brahm, you get a bardic.
Yay! And that's an additional
1d6, I think.
1d6.
Or 1d8. 1d8.
I think it's
Where
a
are you guys
D10.
at? Are you at d10s? What are you guys at?
We're not at D10s yet. We're at D8s.
D8s.
Still.
All right.
Darn.
Coming soon.
3 bards, 42 sessions in. We still don't know what dice we're at. At least me. I don't. Sorry, I speak for myself. I don't know what dice we're at. Apologies, I had to correct. Mirth, it's all you.
What do we know about this race? This is out of character. Do we have any information on who this person once was, or any?
So, he did say his name.
Okay.
He said his name was Dracareth, and he was tired of meddlers, is essentially.
Ah, I see. Is there any other contextual information that Mirth would have witnessed about Dracareth, given this might really affect what I'm about to try and do? So,
The only thing.
this is Myers-Briggs. Anything you got?
Okay. Correction. What he said, and it was understood to anyone that speaks Elvish. If it wasn't, then you'll have to ask one who does. Cursed be those. I'll paste it in chat also. But what he said is, cursed be those who gaze upon the horror that Dracareth has become, such promise wasted, lost in this cold sepulchre. Where were you centuries ago when he was in the prime of his life? Where were you when the frigid darkness consumed him? You are no good to Dracareth now. Nothing remains of him but frozen bones, ancient treasures, and me.
That's awesome. So this is a lonely person, or a great mage who is now lonely because any attempt at glory faded, and he's been trapped here without an Instagram account for like centuries.
That is, yep. You know that the mages of the Netherlese mages liked to show off and liked attention, and he has been without it for centuries.
Poor little meow meow.
Oof, God, I can't believe I'm gonna try this. And he's in the damn wall too, so we can't even work our bardic ways upon him.
He did pass through the back wall.
Okay, I'm gonna do something profoundly new. And it
Sure.
might fail, and that's okay, but we're just gonna have a go at it. Mirth is going to use Major Image, and here's how. Mirth is going to, using Major Image, conjure the voice of what he imagines Timora's voice to sound like, the goddess of fortune.
Okay.
And her voice in Elvish is going to say, Dracareth, your time for glory is not yet past. These people are not your enemy. Aid them, and your name will go down in the annals of history. And then do you want me to make a diplomacy roll, or?
100% a deception roll.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's a lie that I'm doing.
With disadvantage, because you are in the midst of a fight with this person.
Yeah. Come on, deception.
Well, I mean, we could write the name in a history book.
Would you like an 18 or a 20? And then let me add my mods. Dracareth, we're besties probably, maybe now. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
So 23?
23. That is a number.
23 and me, we have an ancestor in common.
I will keep that in mind for Dracareth's turn. We'll see how effective that may or may not have been.
And to be very clear, Mirth is standing frozen like a sighthound that sees a pheasant, and he's just staring really intensely at the blank wall where its horrible face popped out a couple of times. And the voice, it's clear that he's the one doing it because he's glowing a little. So to all of my compatriots, this is not actually some honey-voiced woman, an elvish woman just appearing somewhere, but we're going to work with it. Thank you, I'm done.
Okay. And to show there was some effect, its head will come out of the wall a bit. You can see its face, the wraith's face, come out to look. How effective it is, we'll have to see. But yeah, there is a face visible.
Oh, wait. Brom, do you speak Elvish?
Oops.
Okay, you're good. In that case, you're not going to go for hit him necessarily. Okay.
We made this amazing roll and then just
just fucking beans him. Just kidding. Nerd. Shoving him into a locker.
I mean, he's aged.
oh my god, can you imagine?
Anything else? Anything else from Mirth?
No, that's my one attempt. Don't squander it, guys.
Okay, Brom, you're up. The wraith's face passes back through the wall.
Alrighty. Brom is probably gonna.
Oh, sorry, I forgot an important rule about what he can do. That would be cheating. It sticks its head out to look, and then it does go back in. It has to be one place or the other, and it's not coming out. So you did see that it heard and made some kind of reaction, but it did pass back in.
Yep.
Okay. Well, since he's out of range, Brom is going to move back towards the group.
Okay. So it takes both your regular movement and your action to rush over, and I measured it, and you're still at the very edge, still on the cracked parts.
Okay.
But there's plenty of people to address that, which Hush will try to do by grabbing you and using his entire turn to pull. No, not you. He's going to pull May off. That sounds like something he'd be more likely to do. He's going to pull May off of the ice crack, the cracked ice.
Okay.
What are you doing? Brom is back. Be careful.
I'm okay. I can handle myself.
Sorry, I should have asked. I'll put you back if you want.
No, it's fine.
Hush will look around. What are we supposed to do?
We wait. We wait for him to reply back.
Should I throw something at the things in the floor?
Hold on to those psychic blades.
All right, Astoria, your turn.
Okay. I'm seeing what Mirth is doing. I'm like, okay, I understand. And could Astoria like try to think of any like ballads or like novels or like any written work that she could think of about like anything that could relate to Drakreth's story? Like nothing that necessarily has to be about him specifically because he's just kind of this random guy. But anything
Sure.
that I don't know just fits the vibe.
So, you have had plenty of interactions with Nethralese mages. So you know enough about them to probably call on some kind of a song there. Now the question is if you can remember one that would be relevant to him. So go ahead and make me a history check.
Okay.
And as I have done with Mirth in the past, if you would like to modify your history check with your charisma rather than your intelligence, please do so. Because you are a bard, you do things charismatically, not intelligently.
Let's try the history because I am proficient in it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna have to screenshot this. Oh my god.
What is it?
So that is
you get a 1 or a 20?
26. That's a natural 19 plus 7. Let me just.
Oh, hell yeah.
Perfect.
It's
For the
so
good roll.
Okay. Thank you, D&D Beyond. But yeah. I think she would like to spend her turn performing that then.
Absolutely. So you begin performing a song that, while Drakareth himself is definitely an unknown historical figure, at least not one that you know of, you do call up a few things about Nethralese mages and sing a song. And because you're a bard and skilled at such things, you work Drakareth's name into one where it was some other Nethralese bard, but you try and work him in instead.
Yep, and she does
Hell
know
yeah.
Elvish, so that's all good. It can be in Elvish.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get Bardic on his ass. High five. I'm so freaking happy you went there. Yes. Playing to our strengths.
You guys are so smart. Please be the brain that Braum doesn't have.
We're potatoing the brain cell. It's flying. Put out your hands. Let's go. Everybody gets a turn.
Everyone gets a turn.
Anything else on your turn, Astoria?
I think that's it. Just I don't know. See if he'll peek out again.
Okay. Between those two things and those two great rolls, this wraith passes through the wall again slowly. And there is this conflicted, almost confused look all over his face. And as he starts moving towards you slowly, let me see how far he can move real quick so that I move him where he should go. Oh yeah, he got plenty of movement. He will hover right up to the group of you. And as he passes by Braum and starts passing into the light that you have, you can see that his face is shifting the entire way forward. At one moment, it is this flesh sloughing off, rotten, terrifying visage, and then it reforms into a distinguished scholar with a pointed beard and hair slicked back and tied into a ponytail. And it keeps shifting between the two as it gets closer and closer to the group of you, settling in the middle. And the face for this creature's entire turn continues going back and forth. It doesn't attack you. It definitely does not seem completely mollified one way or the other. The things living in the cracks of ice don't care. And Swarm Braum, who is still partially on the ice.
God damn it.
So that is a 22 to hit.
Boo. Yeah, it hits.
Okay. So that is... why did it do it that way? Oh, I know I did it. No, I don't. I know I did. Oh, for the crit. 8 necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you to roll a d4 for me.
Oh, they're these. Oh no, they're these.
But you have the bardic inspiration, so
What do you know?
I know too much.
Oh no.
3.
A 3. Your strength goes down by 3 points.
Ouch. So
There is a second one, a 19. Does a 19 hit?
it meets. So I think
I'm not the cutting words.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, who wants to cutting words? Let's all start cutting words these things. Jesus.
All right, just go ahead and roll me the cutting words. Which anything hits,
if
so
it
just
meets,
burn the cutting
so,
words.
Like, even if I roll a 1, it's gonna miss. But there you go. It's a 6.
The third one is a 16. The fourth one's a 10. The fifth one's a 15, and the sixth one's a 19.
Okay, cutting words on that last bitch.
Okay.
Going
So-
in.
You see, all of you watch as this first tentacle finds a chink in Brahm's armor, and all of you can see just part of Brahm's face. I can't remember what kind of helmet Brahm has. Anything? Can they
Brahm-
see it all?
when he's fighting, he closes his helmet, so not really, unless he might have it open in this very dark space because otherwise he wouldn't be able to see much at all.
We'll say it's open just enough that you can see what appears to be accelerated aging cross over Brahm's face. At least the effects of aging. And
Is he a silver fox?
unfortunately, he's going the direction of older and weaker. And you see he slumps just a little bit. Since that was the effect of the tentacle that hit, the two of you were quick to hush the other two away.
Yeah, shadows are nasty. You do not want to
Yeah,
mess around with them.
oh my god. I am also out of my bardic shit. So other bards,
Okay.
just know what you
I
have
got
locked
you.
and loaded because I've got nothing for
I got
people.
you.
All right, May, you're up.
So
Shadows away.
The wraith's face is flickering back and forth between a distinguished mage and a rotting undead.
okay, and did the shadows go away again, or
They are circling Brahm, who is still on the broken ice.
We have to get Brahm off the ice, is the thing. But he's big and chunky.
Okay, well, I was going to play some music along to kind of help the thing, but since I've got to help Brahm, let me make sure I have enough.
Brahm can move himself on his next turn too, so
That's
'cause
true.
he's moving and he's going to move in about 2 moves. Like he might get AOP'd by our best friend Wraith Chan, but
Chan. No, we're having like a total Winter Warlock moment from the the Santa
Put
Claus is
one
coming to
foot
town
in
special.
front of the
Exactly,
other.
and it's so good.
No! You made me remember that. Why do you do this?
Cursed.
What do you mean, curse?
What?
That's the best one.
No, why would you make me recall? I recalled Kubla Kraus like earlier this afternoon, and I was like,
Are you serious?
remember this. Anyway,
Perfect. Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm out of. Continue.
No, that's all right.
No,
all right,
it's,
May, you ready?
I hate going last because it makes it so hard.
I finished elementary.
Sorry.
Nope, you're fine. The question really comes down to if you want to attack the wraith or not.
No, I'll just play the my instrument.
All right, go ahead and give me a performance check.
Okay.
You already have knowledge of a song that is being played, so you're able to join in the band.
Okay, I got a 19.
A 19.
Yeah.
You can see that as the faces are still flickering back and forth, the mage's face seems to be coming to the forefront more often.
What instrument is May playing right now?
I can tell you that I totally know this. A viol.
Perfect.
Cool.
And then Mirth.
Mirth dusts himself off to look presentable, as if he isn't like half sliding in a cursed icy room. And he addresses Dracareth and says, "Oh, unhappy fate," in Elvish. "What became of you, my friend? And do you control these shadows?"
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
Come on.
Mirth doesn't do that noise in real life, though.
It's
17 total.
17. The undead element, at least in the facial features, fades away. And the image of a, well, not overly old, but not overly young, sitting somewhere probably in his late 40s or 50s, mage settles back into place. And there's this slow shaking of his head, and as his eyes open, you see no irises. They are empty. He looks to you and answers in Elvish. I am not anymore. I am lost to something, caught in something, left in something. What? I'm sorry. And we're going to fall out of combat order, so if anyone wants to engage with the Wraith, feel free.
Mirth feels pity for this person who clearly is struggling to overcome the evil that he has become. Like, clearly this person is making, like, music is so fucking magic, literally in our case, as the bards are all playing, but there's something super tragic about somebody that's destined to be a Wraith. We can't fix the Wraith side of things, but we can try and honor this guy, guess where he's at. And Earth has a suspicion, so he says, "I doubt that the state you're in is your fault. Have you heard about what the Frostmaiden has done to make these cursed things come to pass? How long have you been down here?"
Long, so long. The Frost Maiden. Auril, goddess
Yes.
of winter.
Yes.
Time is so long. You could just see this strain. He's just struggling to come up with where he is or what is going on. I am holding, but can't. And he just sputters off.
Yeah. Don't force it. Your state is fragile, we can see. Given a choice, would you choose for us to leave you here as you are? Or would you like for us? And he kind of trails off, the implication being, do you want us to kill you? Like, you know, like, what fate do you want? Maybe we could have a go at, like, you know what I mean? It's macabre, but he's offering. Yeah.
My staff, the books, and the visage starts to falter.
Oh dear.
The hair just starts to fall out in spots. My companions, we left. The flesh begins to slough off his face. I chose. I kept mine. This is mine. This is my place. And his flesh finishes sloughing away as the more he remembered of who he was, the more he remembered how he became what he did.
Oh.
And Mirth,
God.
top of the order.
All right.
This wraith howls in your face. They defied me. They held Dracolith back. I am what he could have been.
Oh no. Okay. Mirth flinches back once he turns into a frickin' wraith mode and starts screaming because very few people wouldn't. And I think says I think he says something along the lines of, "This is not greatness." I would think he'd be able to squeak out amongst the surprise. And he would... It's a fucking wraith, though, so what do we even do? I don't want this thing to grab me, because it hits hard. And obviously I'm going to have to probably... You're hearing me externally process. Okay, I'm going to Dimension Door because I don't want him to have an opportunity to snatch me up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to find where my Roll20 is. And I'm going to Dimension Door over here towards where the things start getting a little scrungly on the ice.
Absolutely.
Scrungly.
And just... So yeah, Mirth basically makes his attempt at a quip that kind of comes out shaky voiced because oh my god, and then he boop just sort of unzips from reality and rezips at a safer distance and yells, "We tried."
We tried.
Anything else?
Bonus action to throw my little bandolier of daggers. I doubt it'll hit because it's a wraith, but we're gonna try.
Sure, go for it.
Let's see how close is he. Yes, I can do that. Roll if I can do that. 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
It does hit. Okay.
Yep.
Which is...
And then what type of damage is this dagger?
It's thunder, so sonic damage for 5.
Thunder for 5.
Yeah.
This dagger comes flying and it takes the shape of a very typical lightning bolt, but without the crackle. And as soon as it hits, there's this rumble, and it kind of ricochets off the wraith a bit, where it damaged him, but not by much.
It actually did any kind of damage.
It
I
did
love
some
that for me.
damage.
That's also the only time I can use a tiny thunder move because it's on my random magical cereal box toy thing.
It's
Okay,
cereal box toy.
Perfect.
And my turn.
Brom, the shadows within the ice are swirling around your feet.
Okay.
The wraith looks furious.
Boy. Brom's gonna do a thing. He's gonna move here instead.
Okay. You're fine moving because these are mechanically a little bit different than actual shadows. So more trap, less creature.
So he's going to go ahead and he has advantage against our best friend, Wraith Chan. So he's going to hit twice or try to, and do his divine smite.
Both will hit. Divine Smite, it is undead, so you add another d8. What level are you doing it at?
Level 2, and I'll go ahead and do my other smite with my other attack so I can actually hurt him.
Let's do your first one first. So you're going to roll 4d8 smite damage.
All right. There you go, 24.
So 24 radiant damage and 11 slashing. As your blade begins to pass through this wraith, you can feel it passing through far too easily, where it seems unperturbed by that. But when the blade gets to the center of the wraith, you begin to release that divine energy straight from the sword. And as it begins to burn, a bloom of energy passes through this wraith. and it starts to dissipate, almost like mist burned off in the sun. And as the bits of this wraith start to be crisped by your divine power, Draculith looks at you and goes, "It's all mine. It's mine. It will always be mine. I took it. I earned it. I deserve," and fades away into nothing.
Oh. He seems surprised, but puts down his weapon and kind of looks around. We should dispel the rest of him as soon as we can. We'll have to find his remains.
How do we do that?
Domain? You mean he's not just gone?
We have to put his body at peace, I believe. I believe that's right here. Is it different than Pathfinder? I always confuse the two.
That is consistent with what Brahm has wanted to do with undead in the past.
Okay.
You would know that a wraith would be close to the body.
Okay. So they need to find it. I bet all these bodies are under the ice where we can't get to them. We should probably... So I think probably spells could hurt the shadows. Or they would flee if you had some kind of like holy spell.
Or I had an idea for at least an area of the 30-foot cube. I could just stop them for a little while. Because Hypnotic Pattern does not have a limit on the number of creatures that can affect in that space. It just does in the vicinity. So just a 30-foot cube. We can just look at whatever's in there without them hitting us.
That's amazing and kind of overpowered. I love that.
Okay.
It's
Check out
just
the
each
pretties.
creature in the space.
All their little heads are moving like a cat with a laser.
Oh my god. Hold on, I'll put it here. Just oh no, that's right. I can't put it in the chat.
No, you can't put it. That's
Unfortunate.
fine.
Well,
I'll toss it over there. Which one again? Sorry.
Hypnotic Pattern.
Hypnotic. That's
You create a twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside a 30-foot cube. Each creature in the area who sees must make a wisdom save, and on a failed save, they become charmed for the duration.
okay.
I just kind of sit there.
That's the plan. You're gonna cast a cube of a hypnotic pattern over the top of the ice. Okay. You cast it over the top of these, and because this is definitely more trap-like than creature, this works as expected. The shadows within slow their circling and just pause. And it's not just the 6 that were there, but a large number of those shadows stop moving. And now that everything has stopped squirming, even though it's distorted through the lens of the ice, you can see vaguely human-like shapes and dwarf-like shapes and elven shapes.
Oh.
A variety of different beings that are hanging translucent under the ice. There are the 6 that still appear malevolent. They look more like what the Wraith did. Features distorted and rotten. But beyond them, within that 30-foot cube, there's a dozen and a half others stopped looking up at the lights.
You are muted, Al.
Thank you for still noticing me. I appreciate you. Mirth says, let's find the matching body.
Yeah, we have to act fast.
Yeah, it's the real ugly one. With the goatee.
I see.
Brahm is going to start investigating as soon as they are able to.
All right, go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Investigate.
Would you like us all to investigate or have Brahm do that?
Everyone can do that. That's fine. You have a minute, so yeah, let's have everyone do that.
You take a looky. Oh, it's a 13.
Okay.
2. I got a 2.
Okay.
So Mirth is investigating the lights. Mirth is checking out the hypnotic pattern.
Mirth caught too close of a look at the hypnotic pattern and just
Oh,
stopped
no.
moving and is staring at the pretty lights.
I got
Just squatting on the ice. Ooh, just
Ooh.
watching the patterns. Oh, God.
Brom got like a 13.
13. And then May for an investigation.
a 10.
A 10. So the highest we got was a 13. As you're looking around, you don't see any bodies within this chamber. The only thing that you would notice... A 13's enough to notice that the floor and the walls are covered in those cracks. Everywhere that's red, there is a stretch of wall close to where the wraith was passing through that doesn't have cracks on it. It seems solid.
So, can Brom try and Kool-Aid Man it?
If
Do
you
it
would
again.
like to run into a wall as fast as you can, I'm all for it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna try and Kool-Aid Man it.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics check. Remember that you're at -3 strength right now.
Then it would be 1 less than what this is.
Okay.
And it's an 18. He's gonna Kool-Aid Man it.
An 18, you go charging into it. Go ahead and give me a D10 plus your strength mod.
There.
A 9. You slam into the wall. There's this rattling of your armor. The breath gets knocked out of you. You can see a new set of cracks form, and some pieces of the wall fall off there. But you're not able to pass completely through this wall. It's much more solid than the others. It did sound fair. Not that it sounded hollow, but you do know that if you ran into a true solid wall, you probably would have knocked yourself out charging it like that.
That would be, I mean, great. That would be pretty incredible and suitable for his intelligence level, yes. But he was making an educated ramming.
Okay.
Using your head.
That was using your head first into the wall.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Anyone else? For mechanical purposes, there was some progress breaking whatever that was, and it doesn't seem solid.
Yeah, the rest of us are went
Well-
Cloud of daggers, heat, something heat.
Mirth will come over with the torch.
so.
I got
Okay.
a torch. Mirth will toddle over. He duck walks across the difficult terrain, taking his sweet time. And he just comes over, he smiles heroically, and holds the torch up to the wall and starts waiting.
Okay, go ahead and give me a D4.
Okay. I got a 3 on a D4.
A 3. So it is fire. It does seem to make some progress, and there is water that starts running down the wall, especially in the weakened areas, and it makes the ice a little bit translucent, and you can see light reflecting through this part of the wall.
Brahm is onto something. There's definitely something here. But don't try that again, Brahm. Mirth kind of fixes your helmet where it's slightly askew from where you broke an entire wall with your head.
This is the second time. The first time he broke a stone wall.
And it worked, which is the thing that I feel like Brahm's never going to learn because it just keeps working.
See, that's the problem. If it didn't work, then he wouldn't do it. But I think it's working out for him. So now he's just learning to be the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh my god.
It works one time, and so Brahm will continue doing it until it doesn't.
Look, that's what my dog does. So that's what he's doing.
May and Storia.
Yeah, I'll come up here as well. Turns out I have a lamp. I didn't know I had that until I looked at my inventory.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm just gonna burn a bunch of oil in it and just gonna.
Oh, just stoke the lamp or put oil on the wall?
Oh, would putting oil on the wall like
I don't know.
I don't know if that would
Fire, and
work
ice.
as
It seems
well.
Oil fire on ice seems
Ex-
like a bit risky.
I'm borrowing the
Exactly.
brain cell and saying that's not the way
Exactly.
to go.
I feel like just lighting the lamp like as far as it'll go and just kind of putting the
Okay.
flame near it. Is
Go
the
ahead and give
better
me a
thing.
D4.
All right.
What if we had Hush like psychic dagger attack the wall?
I'd be fine with a dagger attack on the wall. So you turn the lamp up. Mirth is holding a torch close to the wall. You're cranking a lamp up close to the wall. Brahm is rubbing his head through his helmet. The wall is starting to melt. You can just about see through it. May, is there anything you'd like to do for this section of wall?
Bring us home.
But we don't have any TNT, do we?
No, unfortunately.
But I can see through the wall.
You can see the light is reflecting through the wall at this point. There's something beyond this wall.
Can I just dimension door through it?
Is Dimension Door C? I mean, you could, but the wall seems really thin. The wall seems like if anything but a 1 was rolled, it probably would have gone all the way through.
No. Oof.
What did
Okay,
you roll?
Just kick it. Just kick through it at this point.
I have a really, really low strength. Can I? But
What
I
if
guess
you
I
just, like,
rolled
Do
this
you have a
high.
negative modifier? Do you heal the wall?
You just walk up and push it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. Just walk up and push.
You know, with it having 1 hit point left, I'm fine with you walking up, putting your hand on the wall, and May pushes your hand pushes through the thin
So
remaining
don't-
bits of the wall.
I did a
You're
strength
able to
roll
open it.
And I
You-
counted 15.
A
So,
15? You break about a 1 foot by 1 foot hole in this wall. Parts of the wall start falling down, and you look in, and beyond is it's already open. Yeah, it's already, you guys can see there's a chamber beyond.
Uh-huh.
So that is where we're going to stop for a moment before we find out what's in the chamber.
Hooray!
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll try and be back in about 5 minutes. Let's try and keep it a bit short, and we will see you guys soon. Hello and welcome back. And what opportune timing, Raiders. We hardly ever get the opportunity to just stop and thank you for coming into we came back just for you. That's what happened. Fortuitous timing. So
Hello.
welcome. We are working our way through a frozen cavern full of hateful undead and other unpleasantness in our Rime the Frostmaiden campaign, and that is when we are getting right back. Hey, Shiv, yeah, hey, intermission, but not anymore. So we pick back up. The group of you just finished breaking your way through this icy wall, and as the wall crumbles away, the light shines through, and you can see scattered across the floor 6 skeletons in various states of dismemberment. There are tatters of robe spread everywhere, and hunched in the corner in the back left is a single skeletal figure, only one with robes still intact, and both arms wrapped around a stack of books, 7 books. There is a staff coming out from the group around its arms, and its cloak is unlike the others, is pristine. It looks practically brand new. And that's what you see as the ice wall comes down.
We found the man and all of his books.
The
But
things
what
that
do we
we
do now, Brom?
Yeah.
Brahm is going to use his knowledge religion to see how he should best send them to a permanent nap state.
You are familiar with putting bodies to rest, and so no need to make a roll. You can essentially go through the necessary rites in order to consecrate the place.
All right, he's going to spend some time consecrating and basically take every little guy and put him to rest.
So as you start collecting the other skeletons, it becomes more apparent with each new one you come up to that they are. It seemed to be mostly intact from the distance, but as you get closer, you can see that they're separated much too far to have fallen this way and decomposed naturally. You get the feeling that they were either, it's far too late to tell, but they were taken into pieces either before or after death.
Interesting. So they were sacrificed, or?
They were dismembered, either pre or posthumously.
Damn. All right, cool. Well, he's going to delicately try and arrange them as best he can in what he thinks are entire people, and then he's going to consecrate each one.
Sure. So while Brahm is people puzzling, what are the other three of you going to do?
Be honestly on the lookout for the shadow things to make sure they're still properly hypnotized by the hypnotizing situation. I want to make sure at least one of us has eyes on that. So
as that spell dissipates, it dissipates after a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So that's enough time to get through the wall. It didn't take you all very long to get through that. As that spell dissipates, all of those, both the 6 ominous shadows and the many other translucents, start swirling in that area again. But they do not seem to pass where that wall was.
Oh, okay.
So they are back and they are there at the moment. So if you want to watch them, you can keep eyes on them. They don't seem to be getting any closer than the broken wall, but they are congregating outside of it.
Well, okay. If they're not swarming us, maybe we could try and take a gander at those books.
Yeah, the items. That's definitely something that a story I wanted to do. Just kind of getting the vibe. Like, what's the vibe of these items?
Sure. So while Brahm is putting people together and Mirth is looking for or watching the shadows, you head over to the corpse in the corner. While all the other scraps of robe on the floor look ancient and withered and half decomposed in their own rights, the robe on this last figure is in perfect condition, just a thin layer of frost over it. It is a midnight blue that shifts between dark navy and black depending on where the shadows fall. It's ornately embroidered with arcane symbols and imagery. The 7 books are clasped in these bony arms, pressed tight against the chest, almost as though the figure died holding them all tight. And then the staff, well, if I show you a picture of the staff, it'll also say something. So the staff is long, gorgeous, the shaft made of some kind of black crystalline material.
Is it Chardolin?
That's probably something to investigate. And at the top, there is a kind of some gold decorative elements toward the top of the staff. That's what you see on the body.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you have some type of familiarity with what this looks like. A story gestures at the staff.
Astoria, who are you talking to?
To Mirth. I'm guessing we're
Mirth? both just together. Okay,
together
Mirth will
looking at
come.
these items.
Sure. 2 dads on a lawn. So yeah, Mirth sort of squints and he says, "Do you think that's Chardolin? The glass that the Frostmaiden infects everything with? What do you think, Brahm? Come look at this."
Brahm's gonna come look.
Okay, so Brahm, you put your funeral rites on hold for a moment.
Oh, Prom, prioritize the funeral
Just
right shit.
keeping track of a couple
triage
things.
here.
That's all.
No,
Yeah.
that's true. Knowing that, thank you. I would, if it's okay, briefly retcon. I don't think Mirth would want to distract our one paladin that knows how to properly lay to rest what needs resting. So yeah, it's me, May, Astoria, and Hush. So, what do you all think? Anybody who's had an occasion to see Chardalyn before?
I mean, thinking back, I don't know if Astoria has.
You might have come in a little less. Shit, is this on Mirth? Okay.
Yeah, it's like
DM,
I
what do
think I was
roll?
after the Charlatan Dragon.
You might have
I
been
definitely
Chardalyn
was.
Dragon.
So you can make an arcane check.
All right.
And yeah, the Chardalyn Dragon was the last time you all had a significant encounter with Chardalyn. So
Okay, I got a
That-
17 for Arcane
17.
Arcana.
you take a close look, and your suspicions are correct. The shaft of this staff is made of Chardalyn. Now it is old Chardalyn. Chardalyn has not been cursed by Auril. It is innately bad stuff in general. I believe, I can't remember who first remembered, but when you first ran into Chardalyn, there was once a tower crafted of this material. And it is a fairly common material. It's good at holding spell energies. It's good for magical things, but it also seems to, it's almost as though it holds resentment as well. It seems to just, its primary trait is that it holds on to both good and bad things.
It's greedy.
And yeah, that's a good descriptor of it. It's greedy by its very nature.
Mirth will say this then. After Mirth looks at it carefully, and I think he doesn't touch it, and he advises others not to touch it as well, and describes Chardalyn to the best of his ability. Brahm would know this, but to the newer ones, yeah, he would say, when you see something like this, if you can avoid touching it, do. This holds on to some gnarly stuff, especially up here in Ten Towns, where so much is already corrupted. This was a bad, bad man. Let's see what bad books this bad man was reading.
In addition to that, you also just that general arcane knowledge. Oh, I'll show you the. Oh, do I show you the picture of it? No, it'll say what it is. I'll just wait. The robe he's wearing is also definitely a magical item of some kind.
Ooh, did I get any little sensing off of that, or should I?
Nope, just in general. You can. It's something to investigate further, but you definitely get that sense that it's magical as well.
Awesome.
I will fully investigate that, but if I may, even if it means Mirth being in the background doing a ritualized version of detect magic,
Okay.
happy to do that too.
And maybe
So to get a real good access, you're going to have to remove it from the corpse.
is it perhaps after the rites have been performed
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
we could look at the books first, though.
We could look at the books.
And take a look.
You
Okay.
reach out and just for purposes, who's grabbing a book or moving a hand? Or, I
Oh,
just
we
wanna
love
make
when
sure-
Virginia
you know,
asks
this
that
is a who's
question.
wearing
Somebody's
gloves.
gonna die. Ho, ho,
Somebody's
look
got to
at it.
touch it.
Oh, we're peeking a little bit. Okay, we're very excited.
Everyone check your hit points, and then someone say
just-
not it.
We'll put our mitten on, okay? So
No, that's fine. I
we'll
just
put our
want-
hand in a mitten, and
I
then
was
if we're gonna
curious.
touch it,
You know what?
of course
Yeah,
you're
what this gonna do
curious
at
for
this
an
point?
opportunity to smite us.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just gonna pick up a book.
All right. You reach over and grab one of these books, and as you do, your hand passes through the book, and it falls to dust. And as it does, there is this swirling spark of arcane energy that dances in your hand for a moment.
oh, for God's sake.
Oh no!
And it seems to jump almost from fingertip to fingertip as you just have this raw arcane energy in your hand.
But why?
Astoria, can you still see me? How many fingers am I holding up?
How many fingers are you holding up?
How many?
No fingers, just fists.
Mirth, you don't have any
question.
fingers.
You're still you. Oof. But what is that magic on your hand?
I don't know. Can I study this magic that is now on my hand?
Go ahead and give me an arcane check.
Great.
Of some
Amazing.
arcane would be fine.
I have a +5. It can't be that bad, right? 7. I rolled a 2.
7.
Oh, I want to study it too. Let's both study it. Hold out your
Yeah.
hand. Let's see.
Everyone starts staring at this spark, and it's
I don't know.
almost like fairy fire or the dancing lights that you're familiar with. It's moving mostly on its own. It doesn't seem to be moving with intention. Maybe it's just the arcane energies of your hand are guiding it back and forth from fingertip to fingertip. It's probably the size of a super ball, a super bouncy ball.
Wait, I have an idea. Mirth reaches onto his hip and unchains the beast. What if you put your hand inside of my tome and it sucks away the magic? Are you hungry, tome?
I'm just a little too scared that I won't retrieve my hand from that.
Can you shake it off into the...
I don't trust that, just based on how voraciously it's eaten everything else.
No, that's true. That's true. We need your hand. But
Please.
Mirth holds the tome and looks with glinting eyes at the remaining pile of books, trying to decide if this is the most fucking brilliant idea he's ever had or if it's extremely dumb and bad.
Okay.
I think he gives May a sidelong look, almost like asking for permission if he can use his magic-eating book to eat these fragile mage tomes that seem to be disappearing when we touch them. He's giving off energy of somebody hold me back.
I think May's looking around the rest of the hole in the wall since you all seem to have taken over looking at the books.
Okay, so turns resolves herself.
It's like,
May sends herself off. Meanwhile, Braum is like peacefully putting like bodies to rest.
Well, I mean, you two seem like you had it, and then Brom was busy, so
we do have it. We do have it. We've got it perfectly under control.
Astoria, the arcane energy in your hands just starts to tingle.
Good tingle, bad tingle.
A tingle.
What do I do with it? It's like is that like a spell that I can cast, and maybe then I'll just get rid of it? I don't know.
Oh, there's an idea. Casting a spell and seeing if that modifies your spell casting capability in any way. Or, I mean, technically I can do a detect magic to see what kind of magic this is on you. But you always feel a little bit magical.
Oh.
He says that like fully sincerely though, because you are ASMR. You always feel a little bit like you can't tell the difference between divine, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna freaking do it. I'm just gonna do an off-the-cuff detect magic instead of the full ritual. I just want to see what a little tingly thing is this happening on Astoria's hand.
Sure. A couple things start to radiate magic. First, we'll start with the cloak, just so I can get these things out of the way. The cloak begins radiating, and it's radiating strong conjuration magic, strong warding magic, or abjuration magic, strong warding magic. And what is odd, and this is something that is strange to you, as the spell energy hits the cloak, you're used to it kind of hitting, absorbing, almost learning, and then emitting a glow. This, as it hits, it seems like some of the detect magic energy just ricochets off of it instead of fully absorbing.
Very powerful. This robe is extremely powerful defensive magic. My dude was gearing up for Mage Wars. Possibly, like, literally.
I mean, they did have...
He did win the fight.
Yeah, no, this is battle armor.
True.
This is like battle armor for wizards. Wow.
The staff also is radiating strong magic, and it is radiating enchantment magic. So you're getting a strong sense of enchantment from that staff, along with the same weird twisting that Shardlin does to things. And then the energy in Astoria's hand, and same with the remaining 6 books, is a powerful magical aura that you can't identify. It seems at one moment to belong to abjuration, another transformation, then conjuration.
Holy
Each
shit.
of the schools seems wrapped up in whatever this energy is.
So Mirth is kind of squinting in concentration, and he mumbles aloud, this cloak is incredibly strong with protective magics. This staff is enchanted with an aftertaste of Chardolin, and these books are unreadable to me. It's almost as though it's flipping through all the different schools of magic at once. Very, very powerful.
How is that possible?
I dropped out of magical university and joined the circus. I don't know. Literally.
Tell you what.
The tingle shifts to a tickle.
Oh.
Oh.
What is it? Are you smiling?
The ball
Have
of
you become
energy is
evil?
getting slightly larger.
Oh.
Oh no, what does that mean?
Just a little bit.
Oh my god.
You're about to unleash Spirit Bomb, clearly.
I'm worried about that. Does it feel evil to Brahm? Does Brahm's evil detector go off?
Brahm is
Dang.
busy.
Brahm is busy doing the thing that matters. Okay,
You
great.
can interrupt Brahm if you would like. That's perfectly fine.
No,
I'm not saying you
no.
can't. Brahm is interruptible.
No, he's too interruptible. We need to let him have his life for 3 seconds.
His life just working.
Astoria and Mirth are over here with like a slight problem. They're like, should we get Brahm or not? let's just
Meanwhile,
figure it out.
he's doing prayer hands like over in his corner.
Yeah, you know what? Like,
Okay.
I feel like this is like the accumulation of energy, right? I just tell you what, I'm just gonna try to cast light with this hand.
You're gonna cast light with this hand.
Oh no.
Do it.
All right. As you begin to cast light, the spell goes exactly as expected, but when you begin, the ball of energy splits into 1,000 stars and rearranges into the symbols that you have associated with light within yourself, whether it's a certain stanza or a certain sound, whatever that is, however that is that you empower that light with your bardic magic, these stars take the physical manifestation of it. It seems ridiculous. You know that you call this by sound, but you can see the sound in the shapes that it creates as it expands, and there is a burst of energy. And all of the lights that you've been using to see are now superfluous. You are emitting light. Well, not you emitting it. Light simply is all around you.
That's cool.
Holy shit.
Oh,
That's amazing. Here, do another cantrip. Let's see if it does it. Or if it's just like a one-time use thing.
If only Brahm could do something. Right now he's
Brahm, no matter what you're doing, the entire room lit up like noon in the middle of the day. And you all are supposed to be underground in ice and pitch darkness.
you hear the sound of pots and pans banging together as Brahm gets up quickly, looks around. He's taken his helmet off and used it as like like the little thingies that like hold holy water. He's put some holy water in his helmet and has been kind of like blessing things. But he turns around holding it, and notices that they're dicking around and there's a big ball of energy. What?
Brahm, don't interrupt us. Astoria
What
just
is
became
going
strong. I
What-
want one. Mirth snatches at a book.
oh no.
You reach and grab a book, and when you do, it disintegrates in your hand. And when your hand comes back, you have a dancing mote of light that is in the palm of your hand.
Mirth
I'm sure-
cackles.
I'm sure you two are going to explain at some point. to everyone. Or-
May, you turn around and it is.
Because I
Very
am
different.
here, just so you know.
You're
I'm
there.
here.
You're there. Whatever you want to do.
When May says that, Mirth winces a little bit, like, like, but it's too late. He snatched the cat who got the cream, and now he has a dancing thing on his fingertips too. And he's that is in character of him. No other character of mine would do that, but he did. So, and what he's gonna do now is he's gonna prestidigitate some little galloping horses along the ground, and see.
Oh god.
Okay.
Little galloping horses,
Still.
like Briar's horses, small.
You begin. How many are you creating?
Well, the way you asked that makes me think it should be a small portion. So maybe
I'm just curious.
three.
Three.
Small
So
horses.
you begin your almost second nature prestidigitation. It's something that you have done for fun since you were a child. The sounds come to mind, and as they do, and as you begin casting the spell, the energy again breaks into 1,000 motes of light, and they begin to take shape, and they begin to take form, and the lights themselves infuse in these tiny, meaningless little illusions that otherwise would be nothing more than a trick that fade after 6 seconds. They begin to solidify. And after a few moments, you have 3 horses. Now you're aiming for really small briar horses, but each one is about 9 inches tall at the shoulder. And the 3 start to go through the motions that you were having them do, this little meaningless dance. And then after you finish, you're used to the spell going away, but it doesn't. And after they've finished their little prancing performance that you've done a million times before, they stop and they nicker at one another and they paw at the ice beneath, and they start acting like horses would.
Brom kind of watches all this stuff happen. He's paused like his ritual to witness this, and he looks between the two of them and says, "Don't waste any more of these spells. We might need them."
Mirth puts his hands back down. Literally, Mirth's other hand was beginning to raise up, and it goes back
No.
down.
No.
I wasn't gonna.
Brom just kind of gives that like he's the. I think is he the stupidest one in the party? He might be. But he kind of gives
Context based. He has his moments where he's smart.
No, I mean like his actual intelligence score. Is it the lowest? I think it might be.
It might be.
But he kind of like looks back at Mirth, and like it's a very like flat knowing expression. For although he is not a very smart man. He knows that Mirth is probably going to waste all of their new blessing making horses on the floor.
Is it a waste though?
Yeah.
Because they sure are cute.
It is a waste, and or like enhancing his like wraith working performance, and not on things that we actually need it for.
To be fair, I
okay.
didn't know exactly what this did until now. Now we know.
What was that,
Okay,
Janie?
here's the question. Oh, go
What
ahead,
was that,
yeah,
Janie?
I was going to say, was there anything else in the room? May was looking for other stuff. Wow.
They're looking around. I mean, what would you like to do with what has been found?
That's all that was there was the books and the things that
You
are
have
not
5 books remaining, a staff and a cloak, and 7 skeletons.
well, I'm not allowed to touch anything, so I guess I'll just stand there awkwardly.
You can touch whatever you want.
Well, no, I can't touch the staff because they said that evil bad man magic staff.
You could probably touch it with like a mitten on, maybe, to be
Yeah.
safe in case it has like. My only fear, and Mirth would say this in character, I think, in some way. His only concern would be, since it's so strong, if it has something possessing it, or there was some kind of negative, because this staff was a very competent mages, and he probably has like protections in place and all sorts of other things. So if you touch it, maybe just use protection.
Mm-hmm.
Good advice for life.
I guess she'll try to put some clothing over her hand or something, like a sleeve or something, and see if she could touch the staff.
Sure. You have a staff.
Nice.
It's a very pretty staff, very nicely made. And as soon as you touch it, you get a sense, and it's probably because of the power of the magic, you get a sense of what it is, and I'll also give you a better look at what it is. And you innately know how to use it simply by touching it.
Wow.
Cool.
This is what it looks like, and you know that it is a staff of charming. It allows you to cast Charm Person, Command, and Comprehend languages.
That is so cool.
That
That
is
would
extremely cool.
earlier because I don't think unless the mage was speaking in common, I don't think I understood a word of what he was saying.
He was speaking
It
Elvish.
happens. He was speaking Elvish.
I don't
It's
have
all right.
that language, so I would not have understood a single word of what he said.
That's
Well,
not
if we're
everyone
able to
does.
make this, if we're able to make this staff safe and get it, you could have the power of it. It's just we should probably defer to more experienced, or you could just. Well, no.
Perhaps we
I
can
can
ask the
We're
professor
thinking-
tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea.
mechanically, usually there's some sort of process for identifying a magic item, attuning to it, that sort of thing. Because this is such a powerful staff from the Netherlese mages, it's not sentient, so I don't want to give that impression. But Janie May does get the sense there's this like question just as you're holding it as to whether you would like to attune to it or not. It
You know
allows
what?
instant attunement.
You know what? May didn't get to touch one of the magic books to get the magic in her hand like that.
Do it.
He did, so she touches it. She just grabs it.
Good. Take it.
Good. Good. Good.
You're attuned to it. You have full understanding of its uses. It's all in that. I put it under quest items and information in the Roll20 so that you can access that without any difficulty. So
Yes,
yeah.
she doesn't get to have a handful of a ball of magic, so she doesn't want to waste it now.
So if we can't pick them up, how do we transport them?
I was just wondering that too. I don't know if this little guy could hold all of that. He holds
You tried-
paper and knowledge, not. What was
Did you
that?
try? Did you try to pick them up with a shovel? Since you're touching it, they disappear.
Oh, with like another item. That's an idea. Or we could bottle them, maybe.
May has a shovel, and she just like offers it so you can try it.
Mirth sort of absent-mindedly takes the shovel, but he's still talking aloud about possibilities. So he sort of holds the shovel and is like, "Thank you." I suppose we could bottle it. Maybe. They seem to dissolve when we touch them, right, DM?
Mhm.
Or
So far, they have dissolved whenever you touch them, yes.
could we blow the contents of this magic into a... How that... Shit. Shouldn't have dropped out of college.
Try to touch them with the shovel or something similar.
Someone
could,
do
but
that spell
The
check.
question is we
With
can't
spell
carry the
check.
shovel with us.
I have the shovel with me. It's part of it's in my bag. I pulled it out.
Yeah, but I might be misunderstanding what you're saying, but if we do scoop up the books on the shovel, we can't be walking around the whole time with the shovel held out like we're making pizzas, can we?
Or we can. Like, there's no reason not to.
Oh,
Make
except
it
for
have-
maybe
Yeah.
the many slides that are throughout this cavern.
Is it practical? I just wonder. I wish I could think of
Or
some
you could
way.
put them in a bag.
In a bag, yeah.
It looked like you were going to be busy for a while thinking about that.
Mirth is sort of at a loss at this point. He feels let's just say he's at the very strong limit of his understanding of magic as a bard.
Okay.
This is like as far as it goes. So I think he sort of sits there wringing his hands and feeling the weight of responsibility now if he is to ruin our last chances. After Brahm looked at him and was like, "Don't waste them," suddenly Mirth is like paralyzed with the dark knowledge that his actions have consequences and his confidence is gone.
Oh, no.
So yeah, he stands there with the shovel looking nervous.
Do you want somebody else to try it?
Uh-huh. He hands the shovel back and kind of slinks behind you with his ears down and to watch.
Does anybody else want to try it?
I mean,
I don't like mirth with shame. It's a weird place to be.
Look, all characters must learn shame someday. Today was Mirth's day.
Today is Mirth's day. And it will not be the last
He will.
time, I'm sure.
It's time to break his back and make him humble.
Uh-huh.
I say, doing a wrestling reference for no reason.
Pet's one of the horses.
Okay, what if we do this? We wait for Brom to finish the last rites, and then we see what Brom has to say about the whole magic book situation, if they know anything about it.
mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Yep.
So
So
you can
full.
see it, like, I've got my hands on my staff that you told me not to touch.
It looks amazing. Mirth will ask about it too and say, were you able to connect with it in some way or attune to it?
Yeah, I'm not feeling any dark wizard vibes right now, so I think I'm okay.
That's
But if I
amazing.
go before I go evil.
If there's a force in the world that can corrupt Yume, we are truly in deep trouble.
No.
So it takes about 20 minutes each. Well, probably. I bet by this point Brahms got it down to a size about 15 minutes worth of last rites per body. There's 6 of them, so you spend 2 hours. Wait, an hour and a half of Brahm finishing up last rites for all of them except for Darkrith himself, who is still wearing a robe and has books in his lap. As all of you have discussed what's due, decide to wait till Brahm's ready. So are you fine with the hour and a half wait? Or would you like to do anything before that hour and a half wait concludes? And I
explain to the staff.
Short rest.
I will allow everyone to take a short rest during this, including Brahm. Even though you're doing something, I'm still fine with a short rest.
Yeah, short rest.
Sounds good.
And
Agreed.
we'll do our Song of Rest, which is an extra D10 of HP for anybody that wants it. Yeah. Mirth is just gonna play with the horses. How long do they stick around? For an hour? Eventually, just
The entire time the horses have persisted, they're still there.
Mirth braids a little bridle for them, a little saddle, not a saddle, a halter, like a little piece of rope. He just knits something. No, he like makes a little makeshift halter out of some rope, and he sets out equipping them with it. And once again, getting attached to some bullshit magic thing he found that's probably gonna die in 30 minutes. He's picked out names.
When will you learn?
He never will learn.
Why? Why Earth? Earth is becoming the protagonist in a coming of age story. Soon they're gonna have to pull out tiny shotguns and euthanize the horses.
No.
Hey now!
So
All
he can
right.
become a man.
Back to the game. The short rest ends. It takes an extra during that time.
Hey kids, can
bodies
you
are put
brighten
to
up a little?
just to see if it's done anything. You take a look out at the shadows, the 6 malevolent shadows out there. You no longer see them. So all 6 of the malevolent shadows outside this room are no longer swirling. There are still dozens and dozens and dozens of these other shapes, these translucent shapes swirling about. So that takes care of all that. Brahm finishes up, and Brahm, there's just the one body left, and everyone is waiting for you to figure out what to do about the books.
All right. So, Brahm is going to finish with his consecration, and then he very carefully goes back over to the wraith, takes a look at him, and is going to start last rites on him.
Very good.
So I don't know why I imagined you burying them. We're not burying them, just consecrating them. So yeah, the next 15 minutes, you're able to consecrate that body. You have a consecrated wraith skeleton. As you finish the consecration, and as has been the case with all of these undead you consecrate, there is this slight glow that encompasses the bones themselves and then dissipates. as you can see them all, in a divine sense, going inert.
He breathes a sigh of relief, and then gestures to the others like, "You can take the stuff now." He was 100% sure that if they tried to snatch stuff from that wraith's corpse, that thing would come popping right back out.
And we did it anyway.
Rob, the books
Odd.
to
It's
dissolve
fine.
when you touch them and give them magic. Do you think if we touch the books with something that's not a person, we could carry them with us to use another time?
If you were gentle enough, maybe, says Brom.
Okay.
If you make a mistake, it will be the same as if you touched them, he says, looking at the other two.
Okay, I guess I could try to lift them with the shovel, and we could
Sure.
Put them in a
deposit
bag or something.
Okay.
so we're not, wasting them. And you said the cloak was. Did somebody say the cloak was magic?
Mhm.
The
That's
cloak is
very-
magic too.
Yeah.
You definitely can't take the cloak off without disturbing all of the books, though. So
Okay,
Mhm.
You-
Looks first.
you
May's
take
gonna-
the shovel.
Yeah,
Yep,
carefully
you
try to.
very carefully scoop one of the books, and as you lift, the book disintegrates around the shovel, and there's this bouncing ball mote of energy that starts dancing around the shovel, and it doesn't seem contained like it was in the hands. It is
Oh.
going everywhere.
Earth eats it. He
I
shoots
mean-
forward like a chameleon.
Why?
No, I would have moved.
No!
That is so cursed.
And... Get
I
away,
need
get away
I need multiple dexterity
stop
saves.
him.
First, I need an acrobatics check from Mirth. Second, I need dexterity saves from everybody that sees Mirth jump to it with mouth
Oh
open.
my god.
Oh my
Okay.
god, why Mirth?
This is so cursed and I love it.
I'm
Why-
just playing out. Listen, I let the character do as he will. He's chaotic good. And he only got a 10, but I didn't add his dex bonus to that.
May
Okay.
gonna try to
So
stop
that's
him.
14.
9.
14,
May got a 21.
a 21. Okay,
Thank
so
you. Slap his face away. Just
May-
high jump
May-
kick him.
jerks the shovel out of the way so that Mirth misses it with this like alligator snap of his dragonborn jaws. All of his hair frills fly forward. There's the rattle of jewelry. May, you jerk the shovel out of the way, and as you do, this mote of energy flies through the air and it hits the wall and bounces onto the ground in the corner and starts dancing around randomly in the corner of the room.
Is there any way to contain it?
Go over and poke it.
Go eat it.
Not gonna eat it.
No,
Okay, I have an empty potion vial from one of the unstable healing potions. Can I try to just put it in that?
That's where the brain cell went.
Okay.
Yes!
We found it.
Do you want to give it to May to contain it, or are you diving in?
You know what? I'm gonna just roll
May,
for
do you
it.
feel responsibility for this
I
this
guess
mode of
so.
energy?
Okay, go
Okay.
for it.
So
Janie,
May will
I
reach out
love
and
you. I'm
grab
so
the bottle.
sorry.
So go ahead and tell me how you go for this mode of energy that's bouncing around.
I grab, I'm guessing I catch the bottle and I just kind of do a slide to kind of just scoop the.
Okay. You slide into scoop. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check.
Oh goodness.
Straight dexterity.
Okay. Y'all wish me luck, because this is 16.
16. Yep. I set it at a 15. You slide forward and you are able to catch this mode of energy in the potion bottle. You swirl it around, you plug the bottle, and you have a mote of energy in a potion bottle.
Yes.
Amazing.
Okay. No, that was, I think, the roundabout method to do it,
Yeah.
but we figured it out.
I don't know what we're going to do with the other few books, though.
Oh, we have
4 more.
vessels.
There are 4.
Bottles.
We'll take out like a lipstick tube and empty it out.
Are
Or
you-
like a little paint pot or something. He has lots of little jewelry, knickknacks. Well, how big are the moats?
About the size of a super bouncy ball.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's
Yeah,
hard.
stuff we can
So about an inch and a half in diameter.
I'm sure between us that we have even just water skin. Like, as adventurers, I am certain we could cobble together something to hold these little guys.
Water
do
skins. I
it.
now have an empty flask that my oil was in.
Okay, so
I
I
have
guess we could
health
try
potion
it.
bottles.
I just don't know if I can. I feel like that was a lucky catch.
No,
Do it
you did
again.
great, Mirth says, wiping his lips awkwardly. I don't know what came over me. It was strange.
Well, please
It was
don't.
moving and it just looked good for. It was like I thought it was. I don't know.
Please do not eat the
Reptilian
magic.
Dragonborn thing.
Please do not eat the magical energy.
Chameleon lineage. Okay, all right. This time I'm normal again. Yep. Somebody else should probably do it though.
Oh, I'm willing to try one.
Yeah, because I feel like that was a lucky catch with me.
Sure.
I'm not usually that dexterous.
I
So
mean,
this is
same,
going
but-
to be a matter of how much time it takes to catch rather than the ability to catch or not. So if you're going to try and grab another, is the plan to... well, you just tell me what you're going to do with the rest of the books. There's 4 books left.
Put them in vessels.
Yeah, just catch as many as we can.
Okay, yeah, you're trying to catch... I understand, like, the goal. That I understand clearly. The goal is to put the motes into the bottles. I simply am curious about the method for the remaining 4.
So
How we're gonna get them from point A to point B.
Yes.
So is
Yeah.
they want like double and then we catch, or we just?
Can we fan them gently? Like, we should try that. We should just try. Like,
Why don't
animal.
or
I
you
wanna-
can, why don't you put I'm well. Why don't you put like Brom's helmet over them and open the visor and put the thingy on the visor?
I like that.
Create a funnel.
Ooh, there's the brain cell. It's moving fast today. All right.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. So you have your helmet ready. The books are there. You have a vessel in hand. Are you grabbing a book to release the moat? Are you whapping it with a shovel? Are you pushing it with the helmet? Are you trying to scoop it in the helmet?
He kind of like drops the helmet on it and like does a little scoopy because he knows it's going to turn
Okay.
into ash. And then anyone who has the flask can stick it up to the visor slit.
Okay, I got it. Now I understand. And you take your helmet, you put it on one of the books, you feel the book fall apart, and you can feel the energy within your helmet, almost through the padding, through the outer protective layer. You can feel something within there. Push it off to the side. You're able to position one of the bottles, open it up. So I need a dexterity check from whoever is catching the energy on the way out of the visor. And again, this isn't success or failure. This is how much time it takes to do this whole process.
Let's
So who's
go.
catching? Who's catching?
Is it Astoria?
Okay, I'll
Give
try.
me
That was
a
bad.
dexterity check. You I'm telling you, you cannot fail this.
I know. It's just gonna be very funny when I roll very low. Yeah, that's a 9.
A 9, sure. So it takes a couple tries. The energy keeps trying to slide out away from the bottle. Almost, you're convinced by the end of this, it's almost like it was intentionally dodging. But
That's so cute.
you are able to catch it, and after you do, you're able to close it up in your oil flask. And the whole process takes. It was about a 2.5, 3 minute process to do this. Janie, what are you doing with the moat that's in the bottle? Where is it right now?
I'm just holding it.
Okay, about halfway through this process, it started to tingle. And then about the time they caught it, you could feel tickling through the bottle. And as you look down, you can see that the energy is at the bottom of the bottle, close to your hand.
Oh, it's going toward you.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to hold them in the containers. I think the magic wants us to grab it for some reason.
You say that just as Astoria closes the oil
Yeah.
flask on a moat. So one moat in a potion bottle.
Rom
One
and
moat.
Hush, I think you need to grab the book.
Well, since these little guys are getting away anyway, would anyone mind if I fed at least one
Do
of
not-
these books to my book?
No. I mean, wait, to your book. Okay, sorry, I thought you were going to eat it again.
No, not me, probably. I mean, no, of course not. That'd be
Chug
weird.
it like Mountain Dew.
Baja blast!
How many do we have?
Shotgun magical energy.
There were 7, right?
Oh,
There were a
God.
total of 7, yes.
And there's 5 of us.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So
And 2 of them got eaten. I mean, used.
Brom's gonna take a couple, I guess, or one, whatever you'd like.
yeah, so each of us can have 1, and we can give 1 to the book, and then there's 1 left.
All right.
Okay. So that's the plan, is everyone collects a mote and 1 gets fed to the book. Are you feeding the book first or collecting the motes first?
Let's see what happens if we feed it to the book, because we don't actually know what that's gonna do.
This
Okay.
is Mirth is like, ah, yes, I was a scientist in my past life. I'm inspired by all these actually trained mages. Yeah, let's just open up the moat's little binder thing, and then just open it up in front of the visor. And when it comes out, maybe the book eat it, maybe, or does
Okay.
it? How does the book react?
The book, as soon as you remove the muzzle from your book, it is snapping, trying to eat just random different directions. It is looking for something to eat. It makes all 3 of your horses nervous. They rear up and head to the far side of the chamber.
The kind forces.
You open the visor, the energy comes out. Immediately, the book chomps that mode of energy. And there's this moment, and it's the first time you have ever seen this book still when it isn't wrapped in its belts and its muzzle. It kind of pauses for a moment, and it rumbles, and it burps absurdly loudly.
Is it
And
still
then it-
alive?
Jumps up, and it has 6 legs that sprout from underneath it, and a pair of little arms.
Oh God!
And it immediately tries to run toward the horses.
No! Catch it, actually. Gotta catch the book. No!
It's no, Mirth is gonna snatch that little shit up.
Why? No, feed, food. The little hand is like grasping for
What have you done?
Mirth, close
the
your book
horses
up.
in the corner.
We gave it
I'm
sentience.
crying.
No.
I think this is a full-on, like, in mime school when they teach you to act like something is thrashing, except for it actually is. And I think Mirth is, like, skidding along the ground after it and wrestling it back into its muzzle with all of its... Okay, the legs and the arms, do they look like people legs and arms, or do they look like...
Yeah,
some
they're
other kind?
people legs and arms, but
Oh,
there's
I
six
hate
little
them.
people legs, and they're like little He-Man legs. I mean, they are beefy little legs.
No, so
Um,
cursed. Why?
Its little arms are the same. It's like 2 little action figure He-Man arms, and they're
Why is this thing Trogdor? I don't like it.
This is the
It's got
cursed
two-
episode
it's
of
got
Cold
two-
Hands.
I'm gonna put it in a baby Bjorn and tie it to my front.
So,
So its
Are-
horrible little legs can't kick anymore. God.
Oh my god, what
so-
have we done?
when you finish muzzling it,
Oh.
its legs kind of tuck into in between the covers and where the pages are, and its arms do too, and it just kind of sits there still.
so what do we do with the last one? I don't want to give it to your book. I'm sorry.
No, me either.
No, no more.
It did something.
Yeah.
During the process of this and the catching of it, May, the mote that is in the potion bottle in your hand, it's starting to feel warm at the bottom of the potion bottle. And at this point, the flask, what'd you do with the flask, Astoria?
I don't know, I probably would just be holding it still, so it would...
Sure. If wherever you're holding it, you feel a tickling, is about the point that yours is at. There's a tickling that you can feel through the flask.
Oh no.
I don't think there's too much of a choice. I think we do have to take these.
So, well, since you have that one, I don't know what's going to happen. We have 2 of them, but all the rest of us at least have 1, and the book has 1. Please don't. Just keep the books.
I'll keep it muzzled.
Thank you.
What have we done?
It seems, but it's really interesting if you think about it. This is such powerful magic, and magic is a
supposed to be
wild
warm?
living thing. It just does what it wants. We can't really control it, but we can sort of guide it.
Is
And it enhances.
Is this warm? Is it supposed to be warm?
Oh, it's working. Try casting a spell, Mirth says mischievously.
I don't
No,
know.
don't waste it.
The the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other.
Murph is definitely the devil. He's like the nicest devil.
Who, me?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. You know, we're still stuck in this cave, and I don't want to use all of my spells up. So why don't we check out the road? Since we don't know what is going on with this stuff.
So the big thing is, because of how the figure has their arms wrapped around the books, you have to deal with the books before you can take the robe off. Unless you just take the robe off and let the books fall apart. That's also an option.
Well, did everybody get a moat yet?
So you started by feeding the book to see what would happen before the other ones grabbed moats.
Okay.
So
Brom,
if Brahm and Hush would like to collect moats, then you can collect the other two and grab the robe.
we're gonna do that.
Okay. Whoever's catching, give me a dexterity check just for time.
Okay, I will roll.
Holy cow.
Oh, nice. Wow, he's just
Very
like,
nice.
he just like slaps it like it's a bug.
Yep, you slap it with your hands. You have a mote of energy dancing in the palm of your hand. Then
He is not
Aw.
he's gonna keep it for now until he's forced to use it.
okay. Hush will be a little apprehensive, and to avoid any long-term ramifications, we will have a flashback next time when Squiggles is here on what Hush does with the ball of energy. So Hush collects a ball of energy, and we will flash back to this scene when Squiggles is back. Important note: the warming of your hand, May,
Yeah.
is starting to become hot.
Oh, the magic even out.
Warm hands.
Warm hands, dumb hearts.
You know, I want to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to use my mage hand to move the skeleton so we can get to the rope a little easier.
Okay, perfect. You begin casting Mage Hand. And as you start casting that spell, a spell you've done instinctively a number of times, in fact, it's just a somatic component, you start to move your hand, and as you do, the glass around the moat shatters, and 1,000 sparkling lights encase your hand, and you see the lights take the form almost of a complex constellation, mimicking your gesture. And when it does, the constellation collapses, and you have a mage hand.
Wow.
Ooh.
It does as expected and persists.
Wow. You made something useful.
That's so cool.
I mean, the horses could be useful.
Aw, thanks.
The lights could be useful.
Mirth glares at Brahm when he went about the horses.
But Brom, now that his helmet is off, is actually just for a person with very like limited expressions. He actually is very expressive, and right now he's just like.
So, look at the robe. I can try to
Yep.
pick it up with my mage hand if you want me to.
Ooh, so smart.
You pick up the mage rope. It comes off of the skeleton. The skeleton falls into a slump as the robe is pulled off of it. It has been made inert, so it is perfectly. There is no repercussions of claiming this. You have a heavily embroidered robe. It is more of a, honestly, it ends up being more mantle-like than robe-like. We're going to call it a robe just because that's what I started with, so we'll change the flavor of it.
Nice chip.
And the, let's have it somewhere. Here it is. No one has touched it yet. So you have essentially a mantle, a robe that's heavily ornate, floating in the air with your mage hand.
Astoria, let me see your wrist. Cool undertones. He's going to be going around color matching and trying to decide on whom the robe would look most touching.
I don't know if I should have the robe too because I have the staff, and I don't know if that's going to like click a evil mage.
Well, it seems like this incredible staff you have hasn't corrupted you.
But what if like if I hold the rope too long or I get too close to it, it clicks a switch and I do become evil?
Then we're doomed. But what if you don't? What if things worked out all right? And I think Mirth takes the robe and starts kind of doing the butler thing around behind you, like my lady, and like kind of feeds your arm through one robe end and then on the other and kind of fluffs it around your shoulders. Presto.
Does it like the evil switch click in my head so that I like want to, I don't know, freeze everybody?
First, just like with the staff, this is an item from the ancient Netherlese mages. They were very good at what they did. It is not sentient. It's not asking you this question, but you feel, do you want to attune to this or not?
This is hard.
Is this
Rather
something,
than a long
conversation?
rest?
Is this a conversation we want to have meta, or do you just want to go for it? Because I'm fine either way.
Oh no,
But I
this
wanna
is
make
just
sure.
just like the staff. So it's Janie. Would you like May to have the conversation, or would you just like to answer the rope?
May's just gonna. If she turns evil, y'all have to get her. Stop her, please.
Oh my god. Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay. You attune to the rope. You get all of the benefits of a mantle of spell resistance. I will show you what it looks like. It has you have advantage on saving throws against spells so long as you're wearing it. And I will move it up to our list of magic items so I don't have to think about it ever again.
There's no evil like overtaking me. I'm not turning into a lonely emo mage.
You have an
Um,
incredible artifact.
Just imagine him blasting like really bad 2000s music.
So I did stick in Discord. You will want to check your DMs at some point. It's not important for tonight, but
Mirth pauses with the appropriate gravitas such an acquisition deserves, and he looks at May and he says, "You are wearing history. This is priceless. You deserve it, but just bear in mind that these are incredible artifacts, much deserved, but definitely be mindful of that when you wear them." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he gives you a big hug, and he says, "You're amazing. So brave to have touched the staff of your own. There's no way you would have turned evil."
No. I'm too good to be evil.
Yes, you are.
while this is happening, the remaining motes, the one in Brahm's hand and the one in the flask, are growing increasingly warmer.
Brahm's turn to do something dumb.
Oh, okay.
Brahm's like, "I wish for a boyfriend."
Oh, he did have a boyfriend. His boyfriend got turned to ice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually,
No, that
two
was-
boyfriends got turned to ice.
That was
Sorry.
definitely it's complicated situation. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can claim full boyfriend.
I can claim that one of them liked him and got turned to ice and then
Mhm.
shattered.
We're
True.
talking.
The
They
other
were
one
talking, Jesus.
is talking. Wow. And then the other one was a prospective love interest who also got turned to ice.
I wish for Steve's
Is there
ankle to come back to life.
There's
No.
a pattern here.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have that power. If he did, he sure would have.
I'm noticing a pattern, Brom.
What?
I'm noticing a pattern here.
Hush.
What?
There it
Says
is.
hush.
There it is.
Yeah. So what Brahm is going to do is he's going to cast Shield of Faith on himself.
Okay. You begin going through the same motions just as before. You've prayed this prayer, you've asked for this blessing before, and the energy is going to break into 1,000 stars, crystallize, and surround you. You are casting on yourself, I presume? Okay. Because you can cast Shield of Faith on someone else. So the energy begins to coalesce and crystallize and solidify. Now, because in the grand scheme of things, that would be an amazing boost until the end of time. I am going to let you activate it as a reaction, kind of like Shield is activated.
Perfect.
So once a day, you will be able to activate that with a reaction, and it will stay on just like the spell. So rather than casting it, you now can do it as a reaction.
Sweet.
Write that down somewhere. I'm writing it down
right
kind
now.
of. Yep. Shield of Faith as reaction once a day.
Is our wonderful note taker writing it down?
Yes, I have all of it written, except for I haven't written all the effects for your stuff yet. But I will make sure that
so
happens.
the effects of May's magic abilities are in the magic items list in Roll20. So
But May
those are
doesn't-
always.
Have access to it as much, so I want to make sure it's written.
Oh,
Because remember, she plays on her phone, so I just want to make sure
That's
that
right.
all that is.
You
But I can
can-
transcribe it or something.
I say you should be able to copy and paste.
But did you write down Brahms?
Yep,
Yeah,
got
Brom
Brahms
got
right
a
here.
shield.
Shield of Faith as a reaction once a day.
All right.
The moat in the flask is starting to get painfully hot,
Mhm.
Astoria.
Uh-oh.
No.
You can actually hear it slapping against the sides
Oh,
of the
jeez.
flask at this point.
Okay. I think I know what she wants to do. I think, she looks around at what spells have been used so far. And, she could make a incredibly powerful thing, with this. But the first thing that she thought of is, I think, the one that I want to go with. She's going to walk up to the edge of where this wall is, and see all of the transparent, shadowy figures lurking below the ice. And she's going to go ahead and use this moat to cast Friends.
Okay. You begin going through that song, the sounds of Friends, the sounds of the spell that you've used many times to ease that initial interaction. As you begin to cast, the flask bursts. The lights shatter, glistening like the sun reflected through 1,000-faceted diamonds. And as the lights spin, they float down into the ice itself and settle on these figures that are swirling, and each in turn, as a moat lands upon them, stops and turns and begins to rise. And as they do, you can see them push against the ice itself. There is this juxtaposition of immobility and pressure from something immaterial that starts to build as more and more moats touch these spirits, and as more and more spirits begin to rise, and the cracks in the surface of this ice deepen and shatter, and there is this resounding as the entire floor and the walls themselves break, and dozens and dozens and dozens of these spirits begin to slowly rise and turn to look at you. And each is a different person. Each is a stranger someone held within the ice, and they begin to line up with one another and head down the hallway. And as they start rising, you start to recognize a few. And as you look, you can see a shade that looks remarkably like Mercutio rise, and a shade that looks remarkably like Sir Lejart the Orphan, and a shade that looks remarkably like a certain well-armored spear-wielding protector. One after the other, you see all these shapes that you recognize frozen, and so many others. And the entire cavern shudders. A blast of icy air pushes past these spirits as they file out, and the voice of the Frostmaiden howls. You have taken what is mine. And that is where we will end for the evening.
What did you do?
I made her angry.
What the hell did you do? How did you make that happen? Explain.
Cool.
That was so fucking cool. You cast Friend?
Mm-hmm.
What does Friends do?
Makes them
It's
like
a
you.
cantrip that let me look.
It makes them like you.
Yeah, it makes you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature that isn't hostile towards you. I was just like, you know what?
Wow.
Let's see what that moat gonna
That's
do.
so beautiful. That was cool. I tried to take notes and I had to stop typing in the middle of it 'cause it was so cool. I don't even know how to describe that. Wow.
So that is funny for a couple reasons, and I'll tell you why as we wind down. So that is our session for this evening. Thank you for joining us. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a couple minutes just to wind down a little bit, talk about what happens, things we enjoyed, some interesting things, and a little behind the scenes odds and ends before we split up for the evening. And we will be back in 2 weeks where we see what develops now that the Frostmaiden is pissed again. So yeah, we're going to, for the sake of making sure everything gets done appropriately, and this sounds counterintuitive, we're going to do our outros right now, and then we'll decompress a little bit. I think that would make sense. So you agree? It's a change of pace,
Sure.
but I think that's a quick, concise way to do it. We have new cards, right? Heck,
We do,
So,
and is in the chat.
card in the chat. Check it. Oh, it is. Yes. Check out the card.co link there, and it will tell you about more stuff about us. So we'll try and be concise as we go around the table, say who we are, who we played, and the most pressing up and comings, I think, is the way to go. Heck, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, and as per usual tonight, I played Astoria, the ASMR lore bard, and you can find me on all the social medias at Sir Heckalot. My links are in the card. Everybody's links are in the cards. So if you want to see more of what everybody here does, go look at it. But the most pressing stuff that I have coming up is tomorrow over on Indoor Adventures is the finale of our 1986 West End Ghostbusters campaign. It's wacky, it's wild, and I'm so excited to see what we end up doing. And if we defeat the leader of the ghost realm, a trickster god of sorts. Yeah, other than that, you can find me here on Monday for Oathsworn, Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, here with HP as well, and just a whole bunch of other places. We're also gearing up for Pride Month, so there's just going to be a lot in the works, so definitely stay tuned. That's it for me.
Cool. Continue down and around to Al.
Yeah, my name's Al Lucart. I love playing games and drawing. You can find my work at lucartstudio.com, and most of the information that you need on me is going to be in the, I would say, and I'm going to move along.
Perfect. Honor to T.
Hey, I'm T, and you can find me at Neon Lights right now and nowhere else. So if you want to see me, you can see me there and vote on my outfits when I'm not at a convention wearing Robin. Otherwise, 2 weeks.
Perfect. Janie.
Hi, Janie. You can there's the link in the card, and I'm here and a couple other places. Always
Like Singularity, or you're
Singularity.
casting for something right now.
Oh yeah, I'm
Just saying,
casting.
it's really cool.
a Locust game over on Singularity, and I just really like to play games, and I'm kind of a little worried because I know what the friend spell does.
Fantastic. And I'm the Last Hit Point Hero. You can find me on Discord. That's about the only place you can regularly find me. Oathsworn coming up. Other than that, right here. And thank you for joining us. We're going to hang around for a little bit. So any comments, questions, concerns, conundrums, or qualms can be brought up. So let's begin. And I want to begin with what happened at the very end. Because this is something where I try to plan ahead a little bit. So I will try and plant a seed of something to deal with down the line at a different dramatic point. And so the intention was over the next 3 sessions, it would become more clear what all the shadows were, because the rest of this cavern was going to be full of them.
Yeah.
All the people the Frostmaiden has taken and kept as her own. That's the intention. So I was thinking, oh yeah, we're going to plant the seed now. They're just going to think it's a bad guy, not worry about it. We're going to move on. And then everything with the moats in the book was an idea that got out of hand, and I didn't know what to do with it. And it became super strong really quickly off the cuff. And I didn't have a plan for what to do with it because I was like, oh, well, the books are supposed to fall apart. Nobody can even use spell books. So I don't know, I'll make some kind of interesting special effect that happens. And then it's like all of a sudden there was fascination with the little ball of energy that, I don't know what, it was just going to dissipate or something, but there was so much fascination. So I went, well, okay, that's fine. And then you cast a spell through it before we even really addressed anything else. And I went, why not? And
Yes.
Everything with the moats became a complete off the cuff trying to figure out what to do with these meaningless little books. And it started spiraling. And as I have found with this group, which I love about it, so there are 5 of you. Squiggles is out, but there's 5. So I had 7 things to mess with, because there's always 1 or 2 that get, there's 1 or 2 let's say yes or no questions that are not necessarily helpful. So it's the opportunity to learn what something does and then make use of the something. Anyway, as it started to roll, Shield of Faith is such a strong permanent spell that I immediately had to nerf my idea of just making everything permanent. A cantrip permanent's no big deal. And then it came to you wanted to cast something on all of those spirits. And I thought, okay, well, sure. And that's what happened. So it wasn't necessarily because you cast friends. It could have been any spell. But you decided to cast it directly on all of them, and it made sense. And I was thinking I wanted Auril to come back and hunt you guys a little bit. So it essentially... I tried to plan ahead.
It's amazing.
You did
and
great.
it didn't work.
It's because all of you devious chaos gremlins cause chaos. The only predictable one in this batch is me. Like my character, who's dumb as 2 rocks and will do exactly what you think he's going to do at any given time.
Yep. Yeah. So somewhere deep in this dungeon, there are a couple rooms I completely reskinned from the book in order to be where all these spirits would be released. And now something else has been released.
Oops.
So.
Oh, that was so cool. Oh my god.
I had an absolute blast tonight.
What would happen if Mirth did eat the boat then?
Oh god, yeah, what would happen if Mirth actually
So here's the
ate
thing.
it?
after I decided these things were way too strong, I had to put a time limit on them. So if you ate it, it would have tingled, it would have tickled, it would have gotten warmer, it would have gotten warm. It eventually would have started hurting you until you cast a spell.
What if I used my breath weapon? Not magic, though.
I don't know what would have happened. I might have just. So the other thing I was going to do is if they got, like, if you put them in the bottles and put the bottles in the corner or something to just ignore them, I was eventually going to have them just blow up really big.
Oh no!
So that was like in the back of my head. That was like the plan. Is at some point you're going to realize I can't hold this anymore, one way or the other. So you're either going to use it or you're going to put it down, and then it was going to get more obviously dangerous until it detonated. So if you would have eaten it, then probably what I've done with the breath weapon, I would have had you spit it against the wall and it would have blown up. That's probably what would have happened.
I see. Oh man, I want to throw some roses to Janie. Thank you for your patience with the foffery. Thank you for meeting me where I was at and not being afraid to be like, hell no, Mirth, don't eat the fucking moat. Like, I was very much like, whenever I play Mirth, I think about he's very sincere for the most part, and there's a very playful, childlike string to him that comes out despite these circumstances. And so every once in a while, I feel like the integrity of the character, like on my shoulder, being like, do an impulsive thing that probably harmless, but also could have interesting consequences. He would do it. And so I sort of envisioned him succumbing to like literal lizard brain for a second and being like a fly. If he was a human or an elf, I don't think he would have done such a thing, but it felt so very right for a dragonborn to be like chomp.
It's true. The
like,
crunch.
no, we're not losing anybody.
Yeah. And oh my god, more roses, obviously. Astoria, you're fucking brilliant as always. DM, that was super freaking cool. That was such a good example of thinking on your feet, improvisation in D&D, which is fantastic. You know you've got a really good rhythm going when you're able to improv potentially high consequence things cohesively. So well done. Yeah.
It's going to be really funny when we have a flashback next time and Squiggles was going into this without like the full knowledge of what everyone is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be, I'm going to narrate to Squiggles kind of what has happened, and rather than that camera pan somewhere else, we'll address that right there at the beginning. And I'm really looking forward to the same look of, oh, what am I supposed to do all over again?
It's gonna be so good. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So things that I jotted down notes, things to make sure you write down for your characters. Astoria, or heck, for the foreseeable future, Astoria is not emitting light, but light exists around you. You don't know how far that light goes. I actually turned off dynamic lighting on the map for everyone because you are making light everywhere.
Oh,
Cool.
That's
So-
amazing.
There's no way of knowing
a
right now how long
flashlight.
that's going to last, but yes.
I have a flashlight.
That's not supposed to be until level 20.
Well,
So yeah. So the important thing, and it's kind of a weird thing about it, but you don't know how big it is because it's bigger than what you can see anywhere so far. And you're not actually glowing. So those are two things I do want you to know so you don't think your character is glowing.
mhm.
Al, you have 3 9-inch tall horses.
I love that.
Um,
Yay. They're gonna come in handy, guys.
so yeah, I don't know what to do with that, but I love it. And your book is now, it is
Permanently
Permanently-
beleaguered.
permanently sentient.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that. We actually do have a question from chat. Does
yes.
your now semi-sentient book have a name?
I have to check our notes. I think we did give him a name a long time.
Did we?
I don't.
I thought it was
don't
something like
know.
off the cuff, like Chompy or something, like one of those.
It
just
might have
like,
been some. Should we give him a sincere name? Should we give him a baptism? Do they have baptisms?
have whatever you want.
Why?
This is all of your world.
They do now.
Yeah.
Brom can
That's-
baptize him. He can be a baby.
We could baptize him.
And
We could,
Ginger Snaps, thanks for hanging around. So
we
this
could do a
decompression
Brit.
is something we. We're gonna.
Did you catch my joke?
The book wouldn't already be running from scissors.
We're gonna circumcise it. But yes, that's what a Brit is. Okay,
I got it. It has a ribbon in there as a bookmark. You're just gonna shorten the ribbon.
No.
Ginger Snaps, thanks for hanging around. At the end of every one of our sessions, we chit chat a little bit, pat each other on the back, talk about how we had fun. We have been playing this particular game for 42 sessions. We play every other week, and we've missed probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 in there. So it's safe to say we're right at about a year. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been playing this game for that long. And that's, let's see, Heck and I played did we play together before this game, Heck? When did we
Yeah,
first-
yeah, no,
I mean,
Desert
when
of
did we
the Dead.
first- Oh,
Yeah.
wait, yeah, geez, never mind. I meant
That was our first
so,
stream D&D game.
our first stream D&D game.
For
Heck
both
and
of
I
us.
were both of us at the table as PCs for a one-shot. And I was thinking long-term campaigns, though, because we're in Oathsworn together
yeah,
as
and then
players. That's the
Oathsworn.
only time we've both been players in a game.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's just been one-shots.
Mhm.
So, and then Janie, you were in a what was the name of that system? I was trying out a new system. It was very occult, World War One, and Janie played in that game.
Oh, Never Going Home. Yeah.
Yeah, never going
I
home.
remember that.
Yeah, but that's what this is our little groups together. Yeah, and we have to name the Now Sentient book. Now, one thing, so that you don't have to worry too much about the book does go to sleep when it is muzzled, so you don't have to be conscious about having a creature tied up in your
ethics.
backpack. So
Yeah,
I'll remove the
shit.
ethics from your magical book. You're fine.
He just sleeps
muzzling the
peacefully for the most part.
it's like turning the shark upside down. He just goes to sleep. So.
Afraid about you taking the muzzle off.
Oh, hey, Lost Caravan just came in as
Hey,
we're
Lost Caravan.
in the middle
guys.
of wrapping up. Hey, Lost Caravan. Hey, how you guys? That's what I did. We made the book
Welcome.
sentient. It has legs now. I love those legs.
Tiny little man leggies with little
Tiny
man
little
arms.
He-Man leggies.
No.
Ratchet would be
God.
proud.
Yep.
No.
May, Janie, I get in the habit while we're playing of calling you by characters as much as I can. So Janie, May has a permanent mage hand right now.
Yeah.
That is
I-
wild.
I have actually had a permanent mage hand magic item in a campaign before, and it can be incredibly useful, and it's really hard to abuse. So you have mage hand just all the time.
Is it
That's
always?
We just made May so OP today.
Yeah.
We min-maxed. We're like, we're going to invest in this
And-
one character.
And not to worry anyone, but Janie, I did send you a DM.
Yeah, I saw those.
Okay, I want to make sure you saw those. I thought that you might have, but I wanted to make positive you did, just so that you were aware.
You said, does the mage hand? You said it's a bunch of shards of glass.
Well, it's however your mage hand looks now. It's just, it was essentially made from fragments of light.
Okay.
And then Shield of Faith as a reaction is actually pretty strong. So that is a reaction once a day. I think that's fair. Now I do want to ask, because that was one that I did have to nerf, because I could not give you just a +2 AC until the end of time. Does that seem
That's
in
fine.
line with everything else?
Yeah, no, that's fine with me.
Okay.
I don't mind. Eventually, I'm probably going to have to do something to enchant my weapon or pick up a magic
Yeah.
weapon, but that's the only thing that I need to do.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
used to be able to enchant my own weapon, but now I can't because I switched paladin paths.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, these ones are good at murdering. They're not good at being nice. So the skill tree is different.
Yep. He
Fine, an enchanted weapon.
He respect into murder.
respected to murder. That's
My
exactly
favorite.
it. I think that's it. That's all that I had on mine. That's wrap up and some housekeeping stuff. Is everyone comfortable, ready, good to go for the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
well,
you for a
thank
good
you
game,
again.
everybody.
Oh, thank you for an awesome game. So chat, thanks for being in here. We have infuriated the Frostmaiden even more to where she's now
Good.
actively going to be hunting them instead of just pissed at them.
Oh boy.
I'm looking forward to that. We will, if you missed playing with these motes of light, I highly recommend tuning in next time because Squiggles, who's not here tonight, will get a chance to interact with a mode of light, which I think is going to be hysterical
It's gonna be
as
great.
everyone else knows exactly what could happen, and Squiggles will be exactly in their shoes at that moment. So it's going to be funny. That's it for us until we see you in 2 weeks. There is just one rule. Be good. That's the rule. Be good. Bye, everybody.